Amphetamine Premonitions. Yo, what's up? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report was sent in by Kracken, where he took Lisdexamfetamine, Dextroamphetamine, delta-8 THC, Nicotine, and Mycophenolate Mofetil. And here's the full report details. Alright, so we got quite a combination, and quite a damn experience. Big shouts out to Jack. Go check out his channel, Kracken. Jack has been sub for a long time. He did make psychotic content at one point, but I know the last year he's been going through some real life shit, so I'm not sure if he's going to continue that anytime soon or not. But regardless, Jack I know has some pretty extensive experience, and this report right here is really going to show some of that. And we have covered all of these before except Mycophenolate Mofetil, which I'm not sure exactly why he took this. It seems maybe it was just an impulse, because it is an immunosuppressant medication. But like the title suggests, this is heavy use of prescription stimulants. It shows impulse and what chasing the high can be like, also how it can lead to sleep deprivation. Again, go show Jack some love. I think this is a great report, and I'm sure you guys will think so too. So without further ado, let's dive right into this. Okay, so to start this story, I just want to say how easily I could have died during these 3 days. I look back and wonder how I didn't. I have a lot of stories like that. I've been clean 8 months aside from THC, and in no way do I recommend anyone to attempt this combo. Friday, 6:30 a.m. Woke up excited for the day as I had plans to meet up with a friend for 120 mg Lisdexamfetamine. I take 10 mg Dextroamphetamine ER and head off to school. On the bus, I smoke my delta-8 generously. Without a tolerance, delta-8 gets me blasted. With one, I barely get anything. Nonetheless, I arrived at school high and happy. Not exactly any euphoria yet, but I'm very excited. Meet said friend in the bathroom and got 2 60 mg Vyvanse pills. Dumped them into a water bottle and downed them. Gym class is my first period of the day, and I arrive incredibly euphoric and social. Talked to my friend non-stop about how high I was and played a few rounds of pickleball. School flew by so fast, I barely realized the time. I was super talkative in every class and had full conversations with people I'd never met previously. It was a good day, and this is where I wish it would have ended. Instead, my mom picked me up and took me down to probation, where a van would take me an hour away and into a court-mandated weekend program in the woods. Before I left for the ride, my mother entrusted me with my entire prescription of dextroamphetamine. I took 30 mg before leaving on the van. The van driver played bass-heavy rap music, to which I was absolutely jamming out to, probably to get me to finally shut up. 4 p.m. Arrived at the camp and went inside with my nicotine vape and a third full delta-8 dispo. Talked the entire time. I was set to be placed in about 3 weeks, so I didn't care that they knew I was speeding balls, which they did, as I may have been flexing about it. Day flew by playing basketball, cooking hot dogs, which I probably ate around 1 bite of. Finally, it's time to go to bed, around 8-9 p.m., and they gave everybody sleep meds out. I'm still just as high as I was at school, and while everybody slept, I laid down in my sleeping bag, awake the entire night, drawing abstract pictures and writing poetry for a girl I barely knew. Saturday. Starting to come down a little bit, but not much thanks to the Vyvanse and Dex. I'm ripping the absolute shit out of my D8 pen in an attempt at getting more euphoric. It worked, but at the cost of the entire dispo. I'm fried, geeking, and totally ready to start the day. Today was the most cartoonic day of my life. It started with us going on a ride over to this war museum. My vape had died, and I recruited 2 kids to help me with finding a charge. Long story short, we were able to charge it for about 5 minutes, to which I got 2 hits out of, if even. On the way back, we devised a plan to coerce the van driver to stop at a gas station, where we would steal a micro USB charger. He didn't stop. Bummed out, but still very high, I accepted the fact I would have no more nicotine until Monday. Then everything changed. A kid who I'm not still totally sure wasn't a little slow defecated himself in the back of the van. This had to be the hardest I'd laughed, genuinely, in years. His plan worked, and the driver stopped at a gas station. A gas station which, to my surprise, had no micro USB charger. 8:09 p.m. Time for bed. Ended up finding a charger after all in the cafeteria. Everyone's to bed by 10, and here I am still very much awake. Usually, we would be sleeping outside in sleeping bags, but it was below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so we all slept inside a small gymnasium, reminiscent of an elementary school gym. Inside this gym, there's a hallway. In this hallway sat a bathroom and an office opposite to it. In this office, which is unlocked, sat a plastic bottle with the entire group's meds. I stole my entire script and replaced the pills with Mycophenolate Mofetil, immunosuppressant drugs to make sure your body doesn't reject an organ transplant. I filled my bottle with these capsules and stole a generous amount of another kid's Dextroamphetamine. He was on the same ones as I, they just looked a little different. I took 2 of the Mofetil capsules, which totaled up to 500 milligrams, and multiple Dex caps. It was around 3 or 4 before I passed out laying on top of my sleeping bag. I dreamt of being with a girl I recently met. We were having sex. She was wearing black socks with a white shirt and looking at me biting her bottom lip. I woke up not long after passing out, dizzy and confused, and took 2 more Dex caps. At this point I wasn't feeling the same euphoria I had at the beginning of all this, but still a little. I stayed up the rest of the night drawing more pictures, transitioning to the bathroom, the office, and back to the gym multiple times. All the while, popping 2 Dex caps every 30-ish minutes, attempting to get back to where I was initially. Unbeknownst to me, that's not how amphetamines work. I ended up taking around 16 to 18 pills over the night. I lay down staying totally still and timed my BPM. It was 1:32, resting. Sunday, roughly 6 to 7 a.m. Everybody woke up and it was very obvious I didn't sleep at all. I rejected my Dex before he tried to open the bottle and noticed that those aren't my pills. I'm barely euphoric, yet still incredibly talkative. There's large bags under both of my eyes and I'm paler than my usual complexion, sweating non-stop. During morning group, I sat and stared into space. My sleep-deprived mind was racing, and I had no idea how terrible I looked. After group, the therapist in charge of us took me and 2 other kids to run 2 miles down the driveway and back, because we forgot papers our guardians were supposed to sign. I threw up, twice. My heart hurt. I had to stop multiple times because I thought I was going to faint. My vision darkened during these moments, and I got very dizzy. Another kid with me, I had given a couple Dex caps. The rest of what I had on me, because I guess some part of me understood the seriousness of the situation I had put myself in. The rest of my time at camp was uneventful, and I can't exactly remember. 12:01 p.m. It was time to go home. I'm exhausted, yet wired with no hope of sleep. I tried to enjoy the music as I did before, but it was just making me nauseous. 3 p.m. I'm home, and the girl I dreamt of invited me over. I had no weed, so I thought why not. I arrived visibly distressed. We smoked a blunt, and she comforted me. One thing led to another, and I cheated on my girlfriend with her best friend. She was wearing black socks, a white shirt, and looking at me while biting her bottom lip.